Welcome to this guided journey on building market intelligence capabilities for sustained advantage. As the title slide appears, you're met with a powerful Francis Bacon insight. Knowledge is power, but only when applied strategically. This sets the tone. Our focus isn't merely on collecting information, it's about transforming that information into leverage. The entire presentation functions like an interactive quest. And right here on slide 1, you're prompted to download the accompanying PDF so you can follow along. This is quest level 1, the Novice Navigator stage, where simply getting oriented earns you 100 XP. Consider this your first step toward intelligence mastery. Advancing to slide 2, we lay out your quest roadmap. This is your strategic preview of what's ahead. Level 1, the Novice Navigator tier, spans slides 1 through 3 and grants your initial 100 XP. Then you advance to Level 2, the Insight Architect stage, covering slides 4 through 10, where the deeper intelligence frameworks live, awarding 300 XP. Finally, Level 3 transforms you into an engagement enchanter across slides 11 to 15, adding another 200 XP and completing your quest. Finishing the entire path unlocks the Pro Intelligence Architect badge. The strength of this roadmap lies in its gamified design. Instead of absorbing information passively, you're progressing through levels, which helps anchor each concept to a sense of advancement. Each tier builds logically on the previous, but creating a structured learning ascent. Slide 3, Why Organizations Fail, marks the moment where the quest truly begins. Completing Level 1 earns you the Insight Seeker badge and 100 XP. But the message here is sobering. It states clearly, most companies gather data, but few turn it into competitive edge. Consider that contrast. The problem detailed here is information abundance without prioritized direction. You're surrounded by data, customer comments, market trends, competitor actions, social behavior, but without strategic filtering, it's all noise. The result? This slide highlights that nearly 40% of market opportunities are missed every year. That's enormous. Almost half of potential wins disappear because data isn't transformed into actionable insight. The question posed here, are you listening or truly understanding? Directly echoes our opening message. Knowledge becomes power only when strategically leveraged. This slide exposes the widespread failure to do so. Everything that follows is meant to close that gap. Slide 4 clarifies a pivotal difference. Market intelligence, soup market research. This continues the logic from the previous slide. If companies fail to turn data into advantage, perhaps they're treating intelligence like research. Research answers specific, predefined questions. It's tactical. You might run a survey to see whether customers like red packaging or blue. That's research. Intelligence, in contrast, uncovers emerging patterns you weren't even looking for. It's strategic and anticipatory. Intelligence reveals that packaging colors may be irrelevant soon because purchasing behavior is shifting toward voice-driven commerce. That's predictive advantage. The Sun Tzu quote, "Strategy without intelligence is the slowest route to victory," reinforces this perfectly. This slide gives you the conceptual foundation for everything ahead. Research is episodic and backward-looking. Intelligence is ongoing and forward-looking. Slide 5 introduces the 3 pillars of intelligence excellence, where conceptual understanding becomes structural. Every intelligence program rests on these 3 components. First, collection, the systematic, intentional gathering of information from varied sources, not random accumulation. Second, analysis, synthesizing information, spotting patterns, and making meaning. Raw data has no power until connections are drawn. Third, dissemination, ensuring insights are delivered to the right people at the right moment. Even brilliant analysis is worthless if unused. The slide references Ben Galad's Business War Games, emphasizing that intelligence is an ongoing system, not a one-off event. Research can be a moment. Intelligence is a continuous cycle. A helpful metaphor. Collection is inhaling, analysis is metabolizing, and dissemination is exhaling insight into action. All 3 must work together. On slide 6, we shift into practice. Assemble your intelligence squad. Now that you know the 3 pillars, who actually carries them out? The slide outlines 4 essential roles. Competitive analysts observe competitor actions and market shifts. They alert you to threats and openings. Customer intelligence leads anticipate customer needs before customers articulate them. Technology. Scouts monitor disruptive innovations so your organization isn't blindsided. And cross-functional champions infuse intelligence thinking across the business. The cited Harvard research notes that companies with dedicated intelligence functions outperform their peers in responsiveness by 23%. Even a small team of 2 or 3 can generate value quickly. The key is focus and authority. This directly supports the dissemination pillar. The right structure ensures insights don't stall. Slide 7 equips that team with your intelligence technology arsenal. With the team in place, now we provide their tools. Data aggregators like Crayon, Compite, and NewsWhip automate broad monitoring. Analytics platforms such as Power BI and Tableau convert raw information into visual signals. AI language tools deliver sentiment analysis, helping you interpret emotional tone and perception. Collaboration environments like Notion or Confluence store insights, allowing knowledge to accumulate over time. The slide ends with an essential reminder. Tools enhance intelligence, but they cannot replace it. Technology strengthens the collection and analysis pillars, but human judgment translates signals into strategy. Tools provide infrastructure, analysts produce meaning. Slide 8 brings us to operationalizing, the intelligence cycle, based on Leonard Fould's model from the new competitor intelligence. Here are the 5 continuous steps. Planning, define the strategic questions. Collection, gather information from primary, secondary, and open sources. Processing, clean, vet, and filter data. Analysis, apply structured frameworks to uncover insight. Dissemination, deliver intelligence in usable formats to decision makers. This isn't a linear line, but an iterative loop, repeating weekly or monthly depending on industry pace. Each prior slide now connects. The pillars from slide 5 align with steps 2, 4, and 5. The team from slide 6 runs the cycle. The tools from slide 7 support every phase. You now see the entire operational engine. Slide 9 introduces early warning systems, a key differentiator for long-term advantage. You've mastered the intelligence cycle. Now you move into anticipation. 3 mechanisms form this system. Weak signal monitoring tracks subtle, peripheral shifts like emerging policies or niche startup movements. Scenario planning prepares you for multiple possible futures, done quarterly. Intelligence dashboards maintain real-time visibility of competitive threats. The John F. Kennedy quote, "The best time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining," captures the spirit. The speaker notes illustrate Netflix as a case study. Their early recognition of the streaming wave wasn't a lucky guess. It was structured intelligence. This slide expands your intelligence work from reactive to predictive. Slide 10 confronts the hardest component. Embed intelligence in your DNA. Even the best systems fail without the right culture. This slide highlights 4 cultural pillars. Leadership buy-in. Executives must treat intelligence as vital. Training. Everyone in the organization should contribute insights. Rewards. Celebrate teams who provide valuable intelligence. Psychological safety. Employees must feel free to challenge assumptions. Amy Edmondson's The Fearless Organization is referenced to emphasize that learning cultures outperform rigid ones. P&G's Connect plus Develop model is cited as a successful example. Without culture, the structures and processes from earlier slides remain theoretical. Completing this section ends level 2, granting your strategy architect badge and 300 XP. Slide 11 asks, is your intelligence capability actually effective? This is where intelligence performance metrics come in. 4 measures define success. Accuracy rate, how often your intelligence predictions match future outcomes. Time to insight, the number of days from data gathering to actionable intelligence. Decision impact, how much revenue or strategic value your intelligence influences. Executive satisfaction, whether leadership trusts and applies your insights. Targets are clear, 70% accuracy under 5-day turnaround, at least 15% revenue impact. These benchmarks come from high-performing intelligence teams. What gets measured gets managed, and this slide ensures accountability. Slide 12 converts everything into your 90-day intelligence sprint, a practical starting blueprint. Weeks 1, 2, identify 5 priority intelligence questions. Weeks 3 to 4, review your current data sources and locate gaps. Weeks 5, 8, test 1 intelligence technology and construct your first dashboard. Weeks 9 to 12, present your first intelligence brief to leadership. Weeks 13 to 15, A recommended practice: hold weekly intelligence huddles to iterate focus and build cultural cadence. The speaker notes stress that this is about progress, not perfection. A successful sprint builds trust, demonstrates value, and secures investment for scaling. Slide 13 exposes intelligence traps to avoid. Even solid structures can be derailed by cognitive and organizational pitfalls. 4 traps are named: confirmation bias, seeking only what supports existing beliefs; analysis paralysis, drowning in data and delaying action; siloed insights, insights fragmented across teams rather than shared; tool obsession, prioritizing software over meaningful questions. Daniel Kahneman's Thinking Fast and Slow is referenced to emphasize the inevitability of cognitive bias. IBM's failure in the PC market is cited as a cautionary example, dismissing early signs because they contradicted entrenched assumptions. This slide highlights the blind spots that can nullify intelligence efforts. Slide 14 offers a moment of personal reflection. Your intelligence challenge presents 3 questions. 1. What major market shift could catch your organization unprepared? 2. Who inside your company is best positioned to detect early signals? 3. What financial benefit would 20% stronger intelligence generate? These link back to early warning systems, team roles, and performance metrics. Einstein's quote, "In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity," underscores the reminder that intelligence challenges are opportunities in disguise. The speaker notes recommend pausing here to let the questions resonate. Finally, slide 15 concludes with From Data to Dominance. We've traveled from novice navigator to insight architect to engagement enchanter. The conclusion reinforces the thesis. Market intelligence isn't a department, it's a discipline. 3 closing principles anchor that idea. Build continuous learning systems, ensuring the intelligence cycle becomes permanent. Enable teams to act on insights, aligning with earlier slides focused on structure and culture. Stay curious and vigilant, reflecting the early warning mindset. A Peter Drucker quote ties it together. Knowledge has to be improved, challenged, and increased constantly, or it vanishes. The final call to action invites you to download your intelligence playbook. Completing level 3 earns you 200 XP and your Master Intelligence Architect badge. The script closes by reminding you that you now possess not only knowledge, but a complete framework, from diagnosing the intelligence gap to building capabilities to embedding them long term. The final challenge is simple. What will you do with it?